Bonjour, I am the popular French narrator from SpongeBob SquarePants. Welcome to Commander Metto's narrated old DeviantArt story. This was made back in June 27th in the dreaded year of 2020 when the pandemic happened. Anyways, this story is updated for references and better juicy story content on with this story. Regular show, Rigby's bong smoking addiction by Regular Show and Sonic. It was in the evening at the park. Rigby was in the park house in the living room sitting on the couch looking very bored. Mordecai had went out on a dark-light dinner with CJ, which annoyed the poor Rigby a lot. He thought Mordecai was gonna play video games with him, but he forgot all about him and went out with CJ instead. Rigby moaned.
Why does Mordecai have to be so entitled to that stupid clap lady?
Rigby decided to put on the TV and channel surf until he could find a channel he could find, but he stopped on a channel that caught his interest. A commercial was on showing on the TV with a surfer stunner announcer speaking.
Like here?
Rigby pointed to himself.
Me.
The stunner announcer said,
Yeah, you. Like, your best friend did you because he's too entitled to her to play video games with you.
Rigby's eyes widened as he started to get more interested.
Hey man, what's up with that? This guy knows me.
The announcer kept talking.
Like, then this is your chance to get a bong and become a stoner. When you start hitting it, you will be relaxed and probably hallucinate a little, but you will think as if you claw.
Rigby smiled and shrugged.
I've never smoked before. Okay, I'll have it. Paul at 742 for 20 smoke weed every day. That's 742 for 20 smoke weed every day.
Rigby paused the TV and exclaimed out loud.
I gotta order it.
Rigby then got out the number and began to call the number on the screen. The advertiser got picked up on the other line.
So dude, you're ready to get stoned?
Rigby replied.
Hi sir, my name's Rigby. I'd like a big bong. Oh, I want one in brown to fit me. I'm a brown raccoon.
There was a short silence until the guy spoke again.
Like, all right, man. I've written that down for you. We'll have your order over by morning.
Rigby smirked.
Excellent, bye. Later, dude. Hope you enjoy a good story life.
Rigby hung up and chuckled in excitement.
Oh, yes, now I have something for tomorrow night.
Rigby then heard the door open, so he quickly turned up the TV and saw Mordecai walk in.
Hi, Rigby.
Rigby moaned again once more.
I wish you could be here to play video games with me more.
Mordecai assured him.
Maybe I'll play with you during work break tomorrow.
Rigby said, looking very annoyed.
Just this once, I hope you are right.
Mordecai said.
You really overreact sometimes, Rigby.
Rigby snapped at him.
Stop talking. You're the one who's always been too entitled to your stupid girlfriend.
Shut up. She's not stupid. She's beautiful. Let's just get to bed before Benson sees us.
Mordecai and Rigby both went to bed in their shared room. The next day, Rigby woke up to the doorbell ringing. Rigby gasped, waking up with a start.
That's probably for me. I will get it.
That had woken up Mordecai.
For you.
Mordecai raced after him downstairs.
Dude, what's going on?
Rigby replied.
None of your business. It's for me and not for you, man.
Rigby opened the door, and the mailman stood at the door holding a package.
Tickets for Rigby.
Rigby took it and signed up, then gave him the money.
There you go.
Mordecai was shocked.
Hey, wasn't that our concert ticket money?
Rigby said.
I mean, we weren't using it anyway since you kept going out with your girlfriend instead of hanging out with me.
Mordecai then started to feel as if something was off.
What's in that box, Rigby?
Rigby didn't want Mordecai to know about his bong. He was afraid Mordecai would not be his friend anymore if he knew and told Benson. He would get fired if Mordecai told Benson, so he started to make up a lie.
I got a gift for Benson. It's a stress ball he has.
Mordecai said.
Oh, is it his birthday already? And isn't that a little big to be a stress ball?
Rigby continued to lie.
Well, he likes big stress balls. It's more of a thank you gift for being a great boss.
Mordecai was a bit skeptical of Rigby's odd behavior, but until he would find what was wrong with, he decided to believe him, playing along with what he was saying.
Oh, well, I didn't know we were getting gifts for him, but okay.
Rigby said to him.
You probably don't have to get him something. I just happened to get something for him. I'm sure he'll like it.
Mordecai nodded.
Okay, cool.
Rigby hurried off upstairs to the shared room.
I'm just gonna put it in our closet for later after work.
Mordecai then went off to work, and after Rigby put the box in the closet, he joined work with Mordecai. A long time after a job taking out the trash and raking the leaves, Benson let them have a break.
Alright, you guys have been working very well, surprisingly. You can have a break.
Mordecai looked excited.
Cool. I'm going to go watch Shy Guy 2 with CJ at the theaters.
Rigby groaned in disappointment. He started to complain.
Seriously, you always keep doing this like I'm a joke to you.
Mordecai was getting mad at Rigby.
Quit overreacting. I'll play video games after the movie.
Rigby said in complete distress.
It's not fair. You always say that you're gonna hang with me after you hang with CJ, and then you never do.
Mordecai said.
Well, maybe for real this time, Rigby. I'm going.
Before Rigby could say anything else, Mordecai left without saying a word, and Rigby ran away screaming.
You're ruining my life!
Rigby then ran back into the park house, up the stairs into the shared bedroom, closed, and locked the door and walked into the closet. He quickly opened the box with a razor blade he had and took out his bong, lit it up, and started smoking once the bong was ready. The small raccoon called a few times, but he started to feel more relaxed as his eyes turned red the more he smoked from his bong. He was feeling more better than usual. He then started giggling from being stoned out. Benson was then overhearing Rigby's laughter from the other side of the door. And he nodded.
Hello, what are you doing in there, Rigby?
Rigby quickly got up from laying on the floor, unlocked the door, and saw Benson.
Hey Benson, is it work time already?
Benson noticed Rigby's eyes were red. He asked.
Why are your eyes red? And why were you laughing?
Benson smelled smoke coming from inside the room and coughed a little, then held his nose.
Why is there smoke coming from that room? Did you start a fire in the house?
Rigby panicked and had to tell Benson the truth.
Well, trust me, Benson, it's no fire.
Rigby grabbed his arm and took him into the room to see his bong.
I just smoked from my bong. I started smoking through that bong set, and I got it because I was kind of getting tired of Mordecai ditching me just to go out with his girlfriend CJ all the time.
Benson was getting very angry.
Well, take that outside. It's a fire hazard.
Rigby said.
Okay, chill, dude, I'm going.
Rigby took his stuff and went downstairs and went to grab a chip bag left over for munchies from the last guy's night. He went outside and sat on a step in front of the park house where Mordecai usually sat next to him. Later, as Rigby was chilling on the step, Mordecai returned back from the movie he watched with CJ. He then came and could smell smoke causing him to cough. He found Rigby at the front porch giggling as usual. Mordecai was shocked to see Rigby in this strange new state, seeing Rigby's eyes red and a bug sitting next to him. Mordecai asked.
Rigby, that doesn't look like a stress ball. What did you do to yourself? I knew something was up.
Rigby replied to Mordecai through giggles.
Well, we could call a stress bong. That works. Dude, I feel so relaxed.
Mordecai started covering his beak.
Dude, you lied to me.
Rigby ate a few more chips from his chip bag.
I know, I was just afraid of how you react and how Benson would react, and I was always bored because you kept going out with CJ, and so I bought the bong and the lighter from some commercial I saw.
Mordecai face upon.
So you gave away that money just for that bong.
Rigby wasn't paying attention to Mordecai. He looked at his paws and arms, and for some reason to him they look hyper-realistic.
Whoa, that's a word. I look all realistic-y.
Mordecai snapped at him.
Rigby, I'm talking to you.
Rigby looked up at Mordecai and screamed when he saw Mordecai hyper-realistic in the same form and creepy. And then he ran back into the house screaming.
Stay away from me.
Mordecai sighed.
Dude, what's your problem?
Mordecai went in the park house to look for him.
All right, Rigby, where you go, I'm sorry, okay?
Rigby shakily and also cautiously peeked at Mordecai. from behind the couch and calmed down when seeing Mordecai normally.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't that. It's just I saw you and word realistic, and Creepy saw the hallucination, and it scared the heck out of me. I even saw my paws super realistic-like.
Oh, Bong must be making you see things. It is your first time, so I wouldn't be surprised that you wouldn't be as do it.
Rigby got on the couch and laid down on it to continue to relax more.
Do you think Elaine's want to hang with us? During guys' night, they probably feel left out.
Mordecai looked puzzled.
Aliens.
Rigby said.
Demand Elaine's, maybe we should include them more, so they're not left out.
Mordecai shook his head in disbelief.
Well, whatever. About the Bong.
Rigby giggled.
Oh yeah, I did give away the money just for the bun, but chill it, dude, we can work for more money. I'm sorry for all that anyways.
Rigby got up and went to get his chips, but then Benson walked down the stairs and stopped him.
Mordecai, Rigby, time to get back to work.
Rigby turned to Benson and started to hallucinate again, where Benson was a normal gumbo matching with no face, arms, or legs.
Calm or Munchoos.
Benson asked confused.
Munchies, what do you mean? Why are you looking at me like that?
Rigby took out a quarter and put it in the slot and turned the crank and got gumbos and ate one of them. Mordecai shouted at Rigby to stop him.
Dude, you're seeing things again.
Rigby turned to see Mordecai looking hyper-realistic and creepy again, and he screamed and ran outside.
Get away!
In reality, they were both normal. Benson yelled at Rigby.
Yeah, that's right. You work or you're fired.
Mordecai helped Benson with his gumbos.
He must have seen me as a realistic and creepy version of myself again. And he must have seen you as a normal gumball matching. He keeps hallucinating.
Benson turned to Mordecai.
Is he heading now?
Mordecai said.
Yeah, he had before when he saw me how he had seen me. Let's go find him.
Mordecai and Benson went outside to look for Rigby to see who he was. They looked around in the park until they found Rigby hiding behind Muscle Man's trailer. Benson said.
There you are.
Rigby just rubbed his eyes.
Oh, it's just more hallucinations.
Benson said nothing for a few seconds, then spoke up.
Just get to work or you're fired, both of you. And it's for you, Rigby.
Yeah.
Benson gave a stern, serious look at Rigby.
I'm taking away the bong until you're done.
Rigby's high was wearing off a bit.
Yeah, sure.
Benson walked off and Mordecai and Rigby continued to walk. They went off to clean off tables near the food vendor. When they were done, they went to the front, but Benson was waiting for Mordecai there. They stopped seeing Benson. Benson asked Mordecai.
All right, Mordecai, I need you to run some errands.
Mordecai nodded.
Sure.
Benson said.
I'd have Rigby go with you, but only you can get it. Mordecai is stronger anyways.
Rigby asked.
So what's he doing lifting boxes instead of me? Is it because it was too much for my back?
Benson replied.
Yes, it was. You should get groceries and restock for the vendors in the bathroom with toilet papers from the store in boxes.
Rigby complained.
But I wanted to play video games with Mordecai.
Benson then said, getting annoyed.
It's the last thing for you today. Don't complain or I'll extend your dish duty time.
Rigby sighed and said.
Fine.
Rigby went off to wash dishes and Mordecai went off to stores for grocery errands. Rigby was washing dishes for a while, but just then when he was halfway done he stopped. He felt like he needed his bun. He strangely desired it very badly. He ran out of the kitchen in the park house to search for his bun.
I need it. Where is it?
Rigby ran into the living room and looked around, and it wasn't there. He decided to look upstairs in his room, so he quickly went upstairs and went to his room. He found his bong to be on the trampoline. He took it really fast and lit the bong and started smoking again. He got real lazy and ordered pizza and lots of chips for munchies on his phone. He just lied there on a pile of clothes that were on his trampoline he usually slept on. He looked at his paws and there seemed to be handless arms to him from a hallucination.
Wait! Where are my paws?
Rigby then caught something from the corner of his eye at the doorway of the shared bedroom had with Mordecai, and there stood what looked like him, a rainbow man and tailed blue Pegasus with shades and a backwards cap. The Pegasus smiled at him and offered him a ride on her back. Rigby gladly got on and the rainbow Pegasus spoke.
Name's Rainbow Dash. You might need a ride, it would seem.
Rainbow Dash opened the window wide and flew out with Rigby huddling tight and flying Rigby up through the sky, which seemed to be strangely changing colors on him. The clouds turned into pizza. Back in the park house, Mordecai knocked on the bedroom door.
Rigby, why are you locking in there? Are you high again?
Mordecai hurried in to see Rigby sleeping on a pile of clouds, laughing out loud in his sleep and sitting up in his sleep like he was riding a pony. Mordecai shook Rigby to wake him up. Rigby woke up to realize he was only lucid dreaming. Rigby said out loud,
"Oh, dude, that was a dream."
Mordecai said,
Yeah, it was only a dream. I don't know what you were doing, but you were sitting up in your sleep and locking in your sleep. Did you start smoking again?
Rigby only laughed instead of replying, but replied anyways.
I was in the side Mordecai. There was this epic Pegasus named Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash.
She's a rainbow maiden, rainbow tail, blue Pegasus named Rainbow Dash, who let me ride on her back in the sky, and the sky was changing colors in the clouds, turned into pie. It was the trippiest thing ever, but it was also awesome.
Mordecai was puzzled.
Rainbow Dash. Pegasus, dude, we got rid of the unicorns.
Rigby said,
No, dude, not unicorns. Pegasus, she was so majestic.
Well, look, dude, you're late for work. Benson's been screaming for you since I came back.
Rigby began to get up from the tramp.
Oh, you so much for video games then.
Mordecai said,
Well, I would have played with you, but you slept too much all day, and now you're late.
Rigby hurried on his way to work. But Rigby had kept smoking every day after work, and he started getting very addicted. His face began to get more saggy and wrinkled the more he smoked and ate munchies and started to gain weight. His fur got very messy, and he began to get a lot more leisure than he usually was and stopped working with Mordecai for weeks. Mordecai walked into the shared bedroom. Rigby laid awake on his pile of clouds, still high as ever, eating a mess of pizza and chips and drinking sodas. Rigby looked in the doorway again. He saw Mordecai as Rainbow Dash and Benson as a normal gumbo matching like how he hallucinated before. Rigby smirked and said,
Rainbow, you've brought me more munchies.
Rigby hugged Mordecai, thinking he was Rainbow Dash.
Thank you.
His voice was more raspy and ruined sounding. He still laughed between cows. Mordecai didn't know how to read at first, but then he decided to play along.
You're welcome.
Benson yelled at Rigby.
That's it. I've had it with you getting laser and laser every day. I thought I told you to keep that bong outside. It's a fire hazard.
Hearing the familiar voice, Rigby rubbed his eyes and saw Mordecai and Benson normally again.
Oh, all right, I'm ahead.
Rigby packed his stuff with his bong and lighted and went out the door as Benson yelled after him.
Yeah, get out and don't come back until you've solved your smoking addiction problem.
Mordecai followed Rigby. Rigby continued his addiction and looked to Mordecai, seeing him as Rainbow Dash yet again.
You look worried, Rainbow.
Mordecai turned to Rigby.
I am for you. You don't look like yourself. This addiction of yours has gotten out of hand. It even got you fired. Your face is literally all saggy, wrinkled, and boneless licking.
Rigby was coughing really nastily, then said,
I know that.
Rigby now started realizing he really needed to stop his addiction. It was messing with his body really bad. Mordecai and Rigby walked up to a bus stop and sat down at a bench at the bus stop.
You're right. I think I might need a hospital too.
Mordecai said,
I was thinking the same thing ever since your face started to get saggy and wrinkled and gross. No offense.
None taken. So we're taking the bus to the hospital.
Mordecai exclaimed out loud.
Yeah, of course we are.
Mordecai went on the bus with Rigby to the hospital. Later, in the hospital, Mordecai waiting in the surgery room as the doctors were fixing up Rigby. He had a worried expression for Rigby. He was very worried he might die. Soon Rigby walked out of the surgery room with the doctor but looking happy with Rigby, and Rigby looked normal on his face, but his fur was still messy and he still had a lot of weight from junk food he was eating. Mordecai got up shocked and surprised at his amazing recovery.
Whoa, how do you fix him up so good?
Rigby replied.
Well, you remember that sandwich.
Mordecai then started to guess.
Oh, did you eat the life sandwich and heal up from everything and it fixed your face?
The doctor replied.
Joe, he did. Sensei, you guys who sent me the sandwich was a note after he had heard of what's been happening with Rigby.
Mordecai exclaimed happily.
Awesome! Now all we have to do is get Rigby in shape.
Rigby said.
But hold on one sec.
Rigby ran to a bag that was behind a chair that Mordecai had not noticed. He opened it and pulled out what was revealed to be his bong. He lit and smoked some of it. The doctor face upon Mordecai shouted at Rigby.
Rigby, I thought you were gonna be off that stuff now.
Rigby was giggling again.
Sorry, no, I'm off of it.
Rigby ate a bit of more of the life sandwich and he looked good again. Mordecai was disappointed in Rigby.
So I can't believe you brought that with you.
Mordecai then went with Rigby to an apartment Mordecai had rented for Rigby.
I rented you an apartment anyways. Rigby, you should be able to stay there until you get back to working at the park.
Mordecai took the bong, smashed it against a wall, cleaned up the mess, and threw it away along with his lighter.
No more bong and lighter. I'll miss you, man. Come visit when you're back in shape.
Rigby nodded with determination.
Okay, I will.
Mordecai hurried off back to the park where Rigby unlocked the apartment door and took his boxes of his stuff in with him. He knew he had to go to a gym, but first he had to take a shower. Before he could take a shower, there was a knock at the door. He went to the door and opened it to see it was Eileen.
Hey Rigby, I heard about what's been going on with you and your smoking problem, and now I gotta help you out and get you in shape. Skips had called me and told me to help you, and he said even Muscle Man, Pops, and High Five Ghost were worried about you.
Oh, I see.
Said Rigby.
I'm just gonna go take a shower and we can work on some weight loss time again.
Eileen asked.
Why would you smoke? That's not okay.
Rigby groaned.
I know, I stopped. Mordecai smashed my bong and threw it away with a lighter anyways.
Eileen smiled.
Good, go ahead and take a shower. I'll wait for you in this room.
Rigby then went into the apartment bathroom, closed the door, and started showering as Eileen walked in, closing the apartment door, and started waiting for Rigby. When Rigby was done showering and his fur looked better and gromly, and Eileen went to the gym, and Eileen helped him lose some weight running tracks with him and doing exercises he could do instead of sit-ups. In between all his trainings of losing weight, he really missed Mordecai and wanted to play video games with him, but he was still in the middle of losing weight. Soon when Rigby was back to normal shape as he was before he got leisure, Eileen measured him with a measuring tape and said,
Well, congrats, Rigby. You've actually done it. You're finally your old self again.
Rigby was excited to be his old self and to see Mordecai again. He said in excitement.
I can go back to the park. Thanks for helping, Eileen.
Margaret walked into the room to see the old Rigby.
Oh, you've trained him well, Eileen.
Eileen said.
Yeah, it was hard at first, but he was able to manage.
Rigby then hurried off on his way as Margaret and Eileen were both proud of him. When Rigby arrived at the park, he walked up to the front of the park house to see his friend. Mordecai stood up from a stairway step seeing him.
Rigby, you're back, and you're you again.
Rigby said.
Man, Eileen helped me get into shape. Where's everybody else?
Mordecai said.
I'll get everyone here.
Mordecai then grabbed Benson back first.
Benson, Rigby's back.
Then he got Pops, Muscle Man, and High Five Ghost.
Pops, Muscle Man, High Fives, Rigby's back.
Lastly, he got Thomas, who was filling in for Rigby until his return.
Thomas, Rigby's back.
Ivorion then went out to see Rigby, and they were chattering excitedly and cheering in celebration at how much he's changed since they all last seen him. Benson was surprised.
Why, Eileen helped you out really well. You look like your old self again.
Rigby had a confident look.
I did. I totally killed those pounds.
Benson asked.
But how did you get your face back to normal and everything?
Rigby explained.
I had the light sandwich. They told me to eat, so I ate it, and it healed me and it fixed my face. Can I have my job back now? I really have missed Mordecai.
Mordecai and Rigby hugged. Then Mordecai said.
I missed you a lot too, Rigby.
Benson happily announced.
Yes, you're hard again. Normally, I would say get back to work, but just for celebration of your turning back to normal, we're all going to Cheezers.
Ivorion cheered excitedly for Cheezers, and Mordecai and Rigby shouted.
Celebratory Cheezers time.
Ivorion then went to Cheezers to celebrate with Skips. The hand.